Hey everyone, Arashi here, back again with another upload. A little pre-disclaimer as we get in here, please bear with me, my allergies have been going absolutely crazy, nosebleeds, everything, I don't know, it's just this weather right now in Southern California and it's kicking my butt, so I apologize if I sound a little nasally, if I sound a little different. But today's video, I'm going to talk about the current state of Star Wars and what direction they need to be going in, well, at least from my opinion, what they need to be going in, but I'll just pretty much explain everything. Its current direction that Star Wars is going in, its current state, and where I think it should go and what I think would actually be better. But I don't want to be in an echo chamber, so feel free to voice your opinions in the comment section down below once we're done here with this video. Now, it's no secret that Star Wars is headed in a direction that a lot of fans aren't necessarily agreeing with, and the state of Star Wars right now is kind of in like a weird limbo right now where not everything that Disney puts out is necessarily bad. I don't want to say it is. About around 80% of it is pretty bad, but that 20%, that's been pretty good. You know, Mando season 1, Mando season 2, and Ahsoka episodes all the way up to 7 and 8. 7 and 8 is where they really started to lose people, and really honestly lost me. But I don't want to say everything from there has been horrible. I mean, the games have been pretty good. The Fallen Survivor games and Jedi Fallen Order, those are pretty good. But anyway, I want to get into what the future of Star Wars is looking like right now. So we all know that there's a new Rey trilogy in the works. And if you're anything like me, you think that this is a pretty bad decision. Now, I don't want everybody to think it's Daisy Ridley's fault. It's not Daisy Ridley's fault. I think a lot of people are attacking her and attacking other actors and actresses, and I think that's just unfair unless they truly deserve it. I think if you're going around disrespecting franchises and fans, kind of like how Rachel Ziegler's been doing recently with the whole Snow White thing, I think that's well-deserved, the hate that you get from that. But I don't believe that Daisy's done anything like that. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't seen it. I just feel like Rey, or Daisy Ridley, applied for the position like any of us would have done. I mean, and unfortunately, she kind of just got screwed over a little bit by the writers and the leading direction over at Disney. Kathleen Kennedy, Rian Johnson, all those guys. I mean, heck, have we seen the budget that She-Hulk got over Obi-Wan? A show like Obi-Wan, I think, deserved a way bigger budget than what it got, and She-Hulk ended up getting a lot of it. She-Hulk's budget was around like 220 million, and I believe that Obi-Wan show's budget was around like 90 million. I just don't agree with that at all. When you have something as big as Star Wars and something as big as Obi-Wan, I think you have to respect that series the same way you respect the things that you have going on at the MCU. But obviously, I mean, MCU has been one of the biggest money mongers for the last 10-15 years, so it's somewhat understandable. But anyway, I digress. What I want to say to Disney is you're obviously seeing everything is operating at a current loss. Everything that you have going out is at a current loss. It's not even funny. That's why things like the Ahsoka show, kind of failed because the attention just wasn't there. Nobody cares about Star Wars right now. Things like the Marvels. I mean, you keep pushing things that no one cares about. No one cares about these characters, and no one cares about Rey. No one cares about most things going on at Star Wars at this point. No one cares, but nobody cares about Rey. Nobody cares about Captain Marvel. They don't want these characters. But the main reason why nobody cares about Star Wars right now is because you created it. It's all on you. It's your fault why no one cares about Star Wars in its current state right now. And that is because you're not honoring and respecting George in what he's wanted to create and what his direction of Star Wars is. I know he's not necessarily the owner of Star Wars anymore, but he did create Star Wars. And you guys just keep pushing your own little thing going on here, but it's just proven to fail. Like, nobody cares about it. And yeah, Star Wars hasn't necessarily, failed at like the theme parks and stuff like that. Everyone loves Star Wars at the theme parks, but that's just because when you go on a ride, you're more in love with the ride than the sequel characters itself. You're not there for the sequel characters. You're there for the fun experience of being on a ride. But as fans of Star Wars, I think what we need to stop doing is we need to stop clamoring for Disney to get rid of Star Wars altogether and maybe sell it back to George, because we all know that's not going to happen. I mean, let's all face reality. It's not happening. What we need to be clamoring for is change, reformation. From the top down, everything, just change and reformation. Put the right people in charge, put the right people on shows, and hire actors and directors and writers who actually give a damn about Star Wars in its entirety and its fan base. Because contrary to popular belief, we do have people at Disney right now who are working there who actually do give a damn about the story and writing and the direction of the series, but they're just unfortunately not in charge of anything, so they just have to kind of sit around and go along for the ride. We do have two who actually do care, and that's Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. They care the most about every single last project, and I believe that those two are the perfect replacement for Kathleen Kennedy and whoever else needs to be replaced over there. I believe these two are the perfect example of what true Star Wars fans look like who are actually working behind the scenes on Star Wars. That, and they still stay in close contact with George for everything that they do in Star Wars, and they don't necessarily make a move without George's opinion on it or at least get an okay from him. And as a fan, I believe that's really admirable for them to do. I think that's perfectly what we need going ahead and going forward at Star Wars in order for it to become better. Now, I'm not saying it's some magic bullet Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau to fix Star Wars from the current state that it's in. I do believe that it will take them in a right direction, though. I think Star Wars will be in a perfect direction. Well, not perfect, as I just said, but it'll be going in a right direction if these two will be able to take over and overwatch every single last project here going forward. And as for what I think needs to be done with Star Wars going forward, I honestly think before we start going into this next 3 sequel trilogies with Rey, I think that we apologize to the past actors who were on this original sequels, and I think we reboot them. 7, 8, and 9 need to be fully rebooted. And on top of that, of Star Wars being rebooted, or at least 7, 8, 9 being rebooted, I believe that what needs to happen is Star Wars needs to take about a year off from making anything. No kind of films going out, nothing, no shows, anything like that. And get writers and directors and actors who actually do care about Star Wars. Like, I truly believe Rosario Dawson and Natasha Leo Bodozio, pretty much the girls who play Ahsoka and the other one plays Sabine Wren, they care about the characters that they play. And I think that people like them going forward should be in charge. Well, not in charge, but should be actors and lead actresses going forward. Pretty much they should be the example. Even Daisy Ridley playing as Rey, because we all know Rey is just going to be an established character within Star Wars. I think that she takes playing Rey seriously. It's just unfortunate that she, is screwed over by writers and with lack of direction. Basically, get actors, writers, directors, everything that involves making a film or making any form of entertainment, get those guys in charge and get them onto the series and make sure everybody you hire going forward cares about the series. As far as what I think needs to be made going forward, as I said earlier, a reboot of the sequels, including the original idea of what Rise of Skywalker was going to be, which the original script for Rise of Skywalker was actually surprisingly very, very good. And I really hope that if they do reboot the sequels, maybe that's something that they can go back and pull out the trash can. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you go out and you look for it, or I will make a video about it myself and I'll upload that soon. And also, as I stated in one of my past videos, what I think needs to happen is an animated series based on the Old Republic. That way, you can more accurately present characters and maybe even Clone Wars style animation, but you don't have to go out the way of finding a nice casting, is pretty much what I'm saying. You don't have to find perfect actors to play these perfect roles. What I think needs to happen is it needs to be animated, so it just relieves that stress, and animated in the Clone Wars style. But anyway, that's all I got for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Now, I do plan on making a follow-up video on something like this, maybe even going into a bit more detail on characters and things that I'd like to see coming out of Star Wars going forward. But, let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think actually should be happening with Star Wars. I truly do like to interact with you guys. I'd like to see you guys' ideas and what you think Star Wars should be going forward down below. I do like to interact with that. But anyway, this outro's been long enough. May the Force be with you and have a great rest of your day.